Hey everybody, and welcome to another video. We've got a flip through today. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip through this book over here. Now, let me just say that if you look at this, this book is actually a game book for the uninitiated. Um, this is the Silver Bayonet, and I like the way it looks because it's got this it's like this all this old, dusty books that you pull out. It's got this nice vibe to it. It's even got like, check this out, it's got a little blood stain. It's written by Joseph McCullough, the guy who did Frostgrave. So it's pretty similar. Well, some of it's similar, some of it's different. Now, this rule set came out like a couple of years back, so we're late. We're late by a couple of years. But what we're gonna do is we won't really flip through this because if you want a really good flip through, I think there are videos of really good flip throughs. I think Guerrilla Games did a really good flip through of this book. But what I'll do is I'll just flip through it, and I'll tell you what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. It is a really nice looking product. Um, as for the game, okay, so there's a little background. Uh, I've heard of Silver Bayonet. I heard about it, and about a few months ago, Wargames Illustrated came with a free uh, a free frame of Napoleon figures, and I had one of my customers who actually bought the magazine to get the free frame, and I was talking to him and he was saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to use these figures for Silver Bayonet." And I was like, "What? Oh, you play Silver Bayonet?" And he's like, "Yeah, I play Silver Bayonet." So I bribed him with a drink, a canned drink. I says, would you give me a game? And he did. He did. He actually gave me a game. It was actually a demo, so it wasn't really a game. It was more like a demo. And he showed me the rules, and there were a lot of things I liked about it. So it was easy for me to bring the rule book in and check it out. And yeah, it's really nice design. Overall, if you can look at it, later we'll have a quick flip through, but they've got some really nice artwork here, and even the way the book is done, the pages look like there's some really old books, and you've got some really nice ink art here. The feel is nice, the gothic feel is nice. If there's something I didn't like about the rule book, it'd probably be the fact that miniatures in there. But I think it's one of those times when I think it works because they were trying to capture the feel or the vibe of the game. And okay, some just the miniatures by North Star. Um, yeah, so North Star makes the miniatures for these figures. Now, some background very very quickly. Silver Bayonet is basically a black powder rule set, centered. It's pretty much centered around the Napoleonic War. Um, and it's an amalgamation of different genres, right? So it's a period game where you've got it's set in the Napoleonic era, and then you've got this gothic vibe to it, which is very it's kind of cool actually. So it's gothic Napoleonic, and if that was not cool enough, right? It's also gothic Napoleonic horror. Now in this game, you play against another. You play with somebody else against the game, right? So there's it's pretty much a monster against people. It's not really what do they call it? But it's two people. You can either play one as or solo, so one against the game, or you and somebody else against the game. So you guys not cooperating. You guys playing against each other and the game. So I thought that was kind of neat. And yeah, like I said, it's also a solo game. So this one, when it came in, I brought in a few copies. Lots of copies actually moved out because it's a solo game. And because it's a solo game, I think people are moving more towards solo gaming simply because it's especially if gamers are older, it's getting harder and harder to find time to game and harder and harder to find a bunch of friends to play with, right? So the fact that it's a solo game is actually a huge plus, right? So that's that. We'll flip through this very very quickly. I'm not gonna, like I said, it'll just be a quick look inside. What I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. um, they've got this thing in the book called clues, which I thought was kind of nice. And the other thing I thought was kind of neat about the game is you play the different nations, and these correspond to the actual Napoleonic nations, right? You got the Brits and the Russians and stuff like that. Each of them have their. It's like each nation has a speciality, which I thought was kind of charming. But I think the win of this game, after flipping through it and having a read, is the scenarios. The scenarios are really really nicely well written, um, and it actually doubles up as giving you the fluff, to go with or to put yourself in the world. And I thought that really helped. It's one of those times when you have the scenarios really really helping the book. Sometimes some scenarios in some rule books, they just feel like, a bit disconnected. But in this way, I think it adds on to the vibe of the book. If you actually played Frostgrave, this you probably like this. Um, I mean, yeah, and also you can actually get the miniatures from North Star. North Star makes miniatures for Silver Bayonet, or you can actually hit bash. I mean, you can go and get those nice figures from the Perrys, or you can get figures from Games, or you can get figures from anybody. And the other thing also, right? You can actually, if you like play this at 15 mm or 28 mm, or if you're you know guys who actually have 54 mm figures, yeah, why not? The figure count is not too huge. I was told that the guy who demoed me said, oh, about 8 to 12 figures. Looking through the rulebook, yeah, I mean, if you build it up by point, it can be 10 figures up until 70 figures, depending on how you build your force. So it's small. So maybe 54 is a bit too big. 28, yeah, 28. I think a box of plastics on any manufacturer would get you through. Hey, Wargames Atlantic, they make some Napoleonics as well. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Let's just flip through the book and show you what's inside. Right, so here it is. This is the Broken Bayonet book, and this stain was not made by me. This is the design. Look at the book. There's no like fancy like cover, with some art, but it's got a nice tome feel about it. It's like one of those old, collectible books. You get in, like, old libraries. But let's look inside very very quickly. Like I said, if you want a proper flip through, I think Guerrilla Games did a very good review flip through of this book. But let's just look inside very very quickly. Yeah, you got this. Oh, whatever this looks like. It looks like blood, man. Yeah, looks like blood. Okay, it's a Joseph McCullough game, published by Osprey. But this is the kind of art you're gonna get in the book. Let's quickly flip through it. As you can see from the, I don't know what the color is coming up very nicely, but you've got this like a nice brown, used old book vibe to it, and you got like little, you know, those, you got like some blood splatter right there. It's kind of adds to the mood. Even the way the book's formatted, you can actually see over here that it's done in this very old style of book design. Most of the art in this book is black and white, which I think adds to the gothic vibe. I mean you can't manufacture gothic vibe. You gotta immerse yourself in it, or you gotta manifest it. I guess you can manufacture it. Yeah, I guess. So yeah, you got like lots of art. All of the text is very easy to read. Look at this piece of art here. It's really really nice. Yeah, and I was telling you about the different nations and the recruitment stuff. But like I said, we're not going through a whole rule book right here. We're just like giving you a quick look at what's inside. Lots of nice looking charts and tables for different units, creating units and stuff like that. Again, we'll look at art. Um, some of this, it's really really nice. It's very nice. I think it's very evocative. If you were to get this book and you were to bring it to your gaming group, I'm sure your gaming group would be like, yeah, sure, we'll play this. Sure, why not? Yeah, very very quickly. Like I said, it's a very quick flip, only because there are a few guys who've actually done flip throughs and looking at the rules and breaking down the rules already. The demo game that I had really was quite a small game. Um, so I don't really feel like I've actually really played the game proper, but I had a taste for it. Now, the whole horror, fear, terror thing plays a factor in this game, which is kind of great. The monster action matrix is also kind of great because it helps. But this I think is where the book sort of wins the campaign section, simply because the campaign and more specifically the scenarios, with the scenario part, yeah, scenarios is what gives you an idea of what the Silver Bayonet is really all about. Um, because when it comes to the game, they got this thing called clues and the clue markers, and all of the info under the clues part really adds to you understanding. Oh, right, so the game, it tells you how far you can go when it comes to like fantasy or horror, and it keeps everything nice and sweet packed into in world, right? In world. All these nice pictures. Let me see. How many scenarios there again? Nine. Do I get 10? Just double check very quickly. Yep, 10 scenarios. And you got your, set up for the scenarios and stuff like that. And then you got solo play. Now, in case you didn't know, you could play solo. So, um, one of the reasons why this book did quite well is because of this section right here. A lot of people enjoy solo play these days, and if you're looking for a game to play on your own, to pass the time, this is definitely it. Definitely it. And they'll teach you how to create scenarios. And you got solo play scenarios as well. There's solo play scenarios. Let me say two, three, four. Wait, how many give here? Four solo play scenarios, and then you got the bestiary, of course. Every good RPG slash war game needs a bestiary, of course it does. So yeah, that's the bestiary right there. Not I don't know how, not that many to be honest, but enough to keep you busy. And of course, at the end of the day, you can actually create your own monsters, which is kind of neat. But yeah, how to create your monsters, the attributes for the monsters, stuff like that. In your sheet. Now the thing is, again, this was just a very quick look inside the book, because if you're looking for a proper review of the different parts of the book, I think Guerrilla Games. I would recommend the Guerrilla Games flip through the book, because man, he went through each page, with thoughts and everything, which I thought was really great. And I've only played the game once, and even that's on demo. So I think that flip through will be better. But hopefully, from this video, you get to see what's inside, and maybe if you're thinking about getting it and you're wondering whether it's good quality. Oh man, it's good quality, it's good design. Osprey Games, man, Osprey Games. Yeah, I'm quite surprised with this book actually. When I first saw it, I've heard about this game, but when I saw how it was presented, I was like, yeah, Silver Bayonet. I can understand why it's taking the gaming world by a slight storm. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's the flip through. Like I said, it was very brief. It was just a flip. I didn't want to muddle. Don't want to go through this too deeply. I mean, like I said, there are people who have done this, and this game is 2 years old. They've actually have expansions for this already. They've got I think the Carpathians. I think the expansion, the Canadian expansion, I think is also up. So this is basically Studio WGS just making sure that we actually have a look at this book, a review of this book, because I think for those who are doing historicals over here, that chances of them crossing over to the fantasy side is less likely. But this is a great way for guys who are playing fantasy or horror cross over to the historicals. I could be wrong, and I hope I am wrong, because it's nice to cross pollinate, both groups. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the Silver Bayonet. If you like stuff like this, if you like flip throughs, stick with us, because I think I want to do more flip throughs. They're easy, they're simple, and I can get one up as fast as I can. So yeah, don't forget to enjoy painting those figures, especially ones for this game, Silver Bayonet. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.